Hi everyone, Harris here with iDownload Blog, and Apple just released a brand new screen size for the iPad, something they don't do that often, something that deviates from the standard 9.7 and now kind of a standard 10.5. This is the iPad 10.2. This is the 2019 model of the iPad. In this video, we're just going to take a look at it, see if it's worth it. So right off the bat, the packaging is what you'd expect with an iPad. I have the white variant here, 32 gigabytes, which is the base storage, and it's actually the same storage as the Apple Watch, but the Apple Watch does cost more. Now you do get the standard iPad brick with this for charging it, but it does work off Lightning and not USB-C, but definitely to be expected. Alright, so this is the iPad itself. It's extremely familiar territory and not anything new at all. In fact, it's very, very similar to the past few generations of this budget iPad, and this is definitely budget. Again, it starts at $329 and often will be discounted to much less than that. I got this for $309 with my student pricing, and well, quite frankly, while that's a great price, not a whole lot has changed here. So I guess the big thing is the screen. So it's 10.2 inches now, so you get almost a half inch more, and it's nice. Like, this is a nice comfortable size for writing and becomes more of a paper sized screen, which is definitely nicer than a 9.7 inch screen, and it's not a big device. Like, I'm still holding this with one hand. It's a really nice panel, and it's not high end like the display on the iPad Pro is, but it looks nice. It's not laminated, of course, but still, it looks nice. It's bright, it's colorful. I don't have many big complaints with this display, especially for this price tag. Now, is the bigger screen like a revolutionary feature to this? No, it's just a little bit bigger. Everything will just be a little bit larger, and you'll just have a little bit more real estate when you're working on this iPad. Not a big deal. Now, what is new is the smart connector. This isn't a big deal in my opinion, because in order to really use this, you're most likely going to have to be using Apple's keyboard folio case, which is like $150, which is, 50% of the cost of this. But if you do go that route and you want Apple's keyboard case for this iPad to keep it super slim and minimal, definitely go the Amazon route, because it's like $50 or $60 cheaper to do it that way. And of course, I'll leave a link in the description. But otherwise, Logitech is probably making a keyboard case that uses the smart connector. But at the end of the day, unless you are using Apple's or maybe Logitech's keyboard with smart connectors for this iPad, the smart connector doesn't mean a whole lot. Most likely, if you want a keyboard, you'll just get a nice Bluetooth option, because there are a lot of them out there, and I definitely hope to cover those. But everything else is similar, including the A10 Fusion processor. So it's not fast, but it's not slow. It's just fine. It performs. You're not going to notice much lag. Again, iOS is pretty well optimized for the iPad by this point, that no matter what you're doing, it's going to be okay. It's going to be responsive. Now, it does have Touch ID, which is fine. Some people still like that. And it does have the bezels, which I've talked about in videos in the past. It's actually nice because it gives you something to hold on to when you're using your iPad. But my favorite feature of this is iOS 13 and 13.1, which isn't new or exclusive to this iPad, because it is available on the older iPads as well, but you get all the features that you would want. You get dark mode, you get the new split screen multitasking, you get the new files, you get the improved Safari. So this basically acts just as your iPad Pro would, but just with a little bit less performance and perhaps slightly less capable in what you can do with it. But you can use the Apple Pencil with this, or even cheaper, especially for a device like this, Logitech's Crayon, which again, I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check it out. Much cheaper than Apple's option, and it works very well for taking notes. And I've actually been using this for class for the last 2 days that I've had this, and it's been fine. So yeah, this device is kind of confusing, not sure exactly who it's for, because it has the same processor as the previous iPad that is now going to be even cheaper than it previously was, but you do get a bigger screen. And if you really want Apple's smart connector, this makes sense. And if you want a slightly bigger screen, this makes sense if you're on the market right now. But if Apple had thrown in a slightly newer processor, this would get, 2 thumbs up. But right now, it's kind of like a sideways thumb. Not sure exactly why this exists, because it doesn't offer any performance improvements, and that's usually the most vulnerable thing on these older iPads. It's just the performance, because everything else is going to be pretty much rock solid. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this iPad. I'm going to keep using it over the next couple weeks. If anything changes, I will make an update video. Let me know what you want to see covered about this iPad. But thanks so much for watching.